I'm going to be working on a gold farm just above here. It's a Gnembon farm design, and it requires spawn proofing a large area underneath. It's going to have to be the lower part of a pretty big sphere, a sphere with a 128 radius. That's the spawn distance, so it captures the lower part of the sphere here, and it goes down kind of deep. So we'll have to figure out exactly how far, and I have some tools that'll allow me to see exactly just how far down I need to go. Well, I'm not quite done with the excavation underneath, the spawn proofing, but it occurs to me I can build this farm in kind of two stages, or two modes. One would be we're going to have an AFK spot up high, and that will be high enough that there's no spawn proofing that we need to cover, because it is going to be all above the nether ceiling. We can just AFK there, and the zombie pigmen will fall to their death and drop some items. We won't get the benefit of looting, but we will get the benefit of just being able to AFK as long as we want, and we'll collect lots of gold nuggets. The other mode we'll have, and this will require the spawn proofing later, is we'll have an area further down where the pigmen will drop. They won't die. We'll be able to kill them with our looting sword, and then we'll collect both experience and some better drops from the looting. Okay, we got the main part of the farm done, and we can just stand up here at this AFK spot. It's just a little spot at the top that's at least 24 blocks out from where they'll spawn, and we'll get lots of zombie piglins spawning and dropping, and they'll be producing a bunch of gold in the form of gold nuggets. So we can do this as long as we want. We can AFK, come back later, have lots of gold, and the next stage would be having a place where we have a kill zone where we can use a looting sword on it. But for now, this is good to collect gold. This is the area where we're going to be using the looting sword. This will be, once we get the despawning effort done, this will be somewhere where we can come, and all the piglins will be dropping here, and we can kill them with the looting sword and collect even more gold and experience. So it'll be twofold. I can see up in the drop chutes there. And so we have some honey blocks here that some pistons will push in. We have some controls over here. There's also another lever there, which I'll explain in a moment. But these pistons push the honey blocks in. The zombie piglins drop onto the honey. They take some damage, but they don't die. And then we can go about killing them. These top ones, these pistons, the idea is that they will push Yeah, we're not supposed to use them yet, though. Actually, we kill the zombie piglins first. There's a loot that collects on there, but the thing is, when the honey blocks are drawn back, they pull all the items with them. So I want them to drop down into the hoppers we have down below. So the top ones, they just have some glass attached there, and they will push the items back into the hole. So let's go take a flight right here, and we'll get high enough so that we can start getting some piglins. I see some there. We can get some piglins to spawn, and we'll just kind of slowly glide down. And so now we have a bunch of zombie piglins. We kill. Oh, there's some little guys that are able to get out. So not perfect there. We should probably make sure they stay trapped in. Kill these guys, and we got lots of loot. There's one more guy. Got lots of loot there. So I'll flip this lever back, and you'll see all the items get stuck on the honey there. So then we flip this lever, pushes them down, and then get collected in the hoppers. But that is the loot kill chamber. Now if we look down below, this is the collection area. We got hoppers where they are falling, and we'll just go up the stairs here so we can see. A small pad of hoppers here. They actually kind of spill out around this, but it collects most of them. There's a chest there that collects it, a hopper underneath that, and then they go into the filter system. It's kind of standard. I think it's the impulse filter system. So the first chamber here is for kind of the most precious loot, which is the gold bars, and there's a lot in there, but I've actually kind of combine some of the nuggets. So mostly this is producing nuggets, and I've done some AFKing already. So you see there's lots of gold nuggets already and gold bars. And then this last one is to collect the rotten flesh, which probably I don't have much use for. So I might at some point probably create like an overflow to just dump the rotten flesh, or I might have to add more storage. You see I have kind of my dog kennel area here. This is for down below. We have quite an excavation project here. This is to spawn proof everything underneath. There's a despawn radius that goes fairly far down here, and you can see I have a machine here that's going to be helping to clear this out. But I've done a lot of mining by hand, and we've done a lot of TNT. Some we've like placed the TNT by hand, and then I've turned to the machines a little bit for helping to clear it out. And you can see the pink in the distance there. That kind of holographic pink is from the mini HUD mod, and that shows where the despawn radius ends. So we have to clear out all the way to that pink. It's going to be a pretty big task, so we won't have the looting area fully functional until we get all this cleared out. The other thing I wanted to work on in my world is to work a little bit on the aesthetics. And one thing we got recently, I haven't done anything yet with, is the mangrove wood and trees. So we brought back one of these leaf blocks, and that's all you need to basically have all the mangrove you need. I knew when I took this one leaf block that that would provide us with all the mangrove we wanted without having to fly out 7,000 blocks or whatever it is. And so we can just make propagules with using the bone meal on that one leaf block, and we can plant the propagule, have another tree, and repeat the process. So I figured I would just maybe pop one up on the top of this island over here. I kind of like this island. I like that it's just surrounded by this circular river. We can make more propagules now. Yeah, I wanted to put a tree right on the top here. Figured this is as good a spot as any. But I'll have to start thinking about like the aesthetics of this place. And in fact, I'd love it if someone would want to give me some tips on what to build around here to kind of improve the looks. I think I said early on episode 1 or 2 that I didn't specialize in building, as in like aesthetic builds. I know a fair deal about making farms and surviving, but I don't have a lot of experience with the color palettes and building blocks and making pretty structures. It's always been function over form. So if you have some good tips for me and you'd like to see me put something in this world that would pretty things up, I'd love to hear some suggestions. Another idea I had to try to liven things up around here is create kind of a nice perimeter, a nice boundary, and it kind of serves two purposes. I want to actually, you can see there in the center island, that's the new mangrove tree. I also planted one off in the distance there just to have a little more mangrove nearby. But yeah, the idea would be twofold. I kind of wanted to light up my base and not have things be able to encroach on it. So the island's kind of it's got a nice barrier, right? And I thought I might put a wall around it made out of the tall spruce. So I'm flying around here, around the outer perimeter of this the river that surrounds the island. This is where I'm thinking of planting the double or the 2x2 spruce trees, maybe all the way around to here, and kind of protect all the way to where I have the cactus farm there. So I've started planting the trees here in the 2x2 structures, and I'm just going to let them grow over time, kind of like we have over at the wood farm. And I'll just need to collect a lot of these spruce trees, and I'll do this over time. And yeah, patience will be my ally with this project. But yeah, I think it'll be cool. And then we'll just make sure everything inside of this wall is lit up, and the mobs can spawn as much as they like on the other side, but they're not getting in. So now it's been a little bit of time, and the trees are growing up. I have part of the wall done here, not nearly the whole thing, but you can see they're coming up nicely. And I've encountered one problem, which is there's a point where they just stop. They stop growing, and I'm not sure what's blocking their progress. I've looked on the wiki, and I see that you're not supposed to have some things blocking like above or to the northwest, I think it is. But I've cleared that problem. It seems like they still don't want to grow, so I've tried some tricks. One thing that seems to work is if I raise the level a little bit, and then for some reason they decide they're 2 blocks higher and they'll grow. I figure I can do that and maybe fill in the wood underneath so that it looks like they're growing from the ground instead of 2 meters off the ground. But you can see it's coming along. The walls here are all closed in. It starts all the way at the water. And then along this side, things are lit up on the ground with torches, so I'll try to keep it like that. And you can see there's where the path continues. I've just got to try to encourage those trees to grow. I'm not sure why they won't, but we'll force them if we have to. Anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. I appreciate you watching, and definitely if you have more suggestions on how to spruce things up around here, no pun intended, definitely drop a comment. Thanks so much, and see you next episode.